Chapter 52, 9-Year-Old Soul Beast, Phantom Feathered Flying Eagle. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The Star Dou Forest is very huge. Qianyu took Qian Yu into the Star Dou Forest. Unable to travel in the dark, they found a place to set up camp. Ancestor. How many years will it take to hunt the soul beast this time? At this time, Qianyu looked at Qianyu and asked. Qianyu responded calmly, a 10-year-old soul beast will be difficult to deal with even if we work together. Therefore, I am going to find a soul beast that is under 10 years old or over 7 years old. I am confident in dealing with such a soul beast. Qianyu nodded. At this time, there were no outsiders, so he didn't need to hide. The two sat in front of the fire to rest. At this moment, a roar suddenly came from deep in the forest, and a huge soul beast rushed towards them. It was obvious that he was attracted by Qianyu's laughter. The soul beast came in front of Qianyu and the others. Under its huge body, Qianyu and the others were like ants, as if they could be trampled by it. Qianyu looked at the soul beast and saw that it was a 1,000-year-old giant elephant beast. Although it was huge, its combat effectiveness was not high. The little 1,000-year-old soul beast doesn't know whether to live or die, Qianyu said, and suddenly, he waved his big hand. The soil on the ground suddenly surged, boom, that a loud bang. Earth cones kept rising from the ground, directly penetrating the giant elephant beast. Suddenly, the giant elephant fell to the ground. After bringing down the giant elephant beast, it also acted as a deterrent. Although there were still many spirit beasts in the forest watching them eagerly, after seeing the corpse of the giant elephant beast, no soul beast dared to disturb Qianyu and the others. Qianyu cut off a huge elephant leg for barbecue. Qianyu stood aside, guarding Qianyu. Qianyu smiled and gave half of the meat to Qianyu. Qianyu was a little shocked. Qianyu smiled and said, I don't treat you as a servant, so you don't have to be so reserved in front of me. Yes. Qianyu said immediately. After eating and drinking, Qianyu also fell asleep. Even if Qianyu is asleep, his powerful soul power is always alert. Therefore, it is impossible for anyone to sneak attack Qianyu. By the second day, the sun rose slowly. Qianyu and the others continued to go into the forest to look for the soul beast. It is a bit difficult to find a soul beast that is more than 7 years old. After all, such a soul beast is almost in the central area. Even in the Star Dou Forest, the more central the area, the more dangerous it will be. Although Qianyu brought Qian Yu with him, Qian Yu was only a level 92 title Douluo. Facing a 10-year-old soul beast, he would probably have no choice but to run away. Qianyu and the others walked towards the forest. Along the way, Qianyu, a soul beast of more than 5 years, saw a lot. However, for Qianyu, the soul rings of these soul beasts are no longer enough, so what Qianyu needs are more powerful soul beasts. Just as the two were on their way, suddenly, a powerful aura hit them. Rolling pressure fell from the sky. Qianyu and the others looked up and saw an eagle swatting down at Qianyu and the others. This eagle is so huge that it covers the sky and the sun when it flies, as if it is as huge as more than 10 meters. Qianyu's eyes lit up and he looked at the huge soul beast in the sky. This is the legendary soul beast, the Phantom Feathered Eagle. Phantom Feathered Eagle. Qianyu had heard of this kind of soul beast, a spiritual flying soul beast. It was not only a spiritual soul beast, but also a flying soul beast. Moreover, his age seems to be between 8 and 9 years. This phantom feather flying eagle meets Qianyu's standards very well. It's decided, that's it. Qianyu said. Qianyu nodded and said, but this is a flying soul beast. Although I am a title Douluo, I don't have the ability to fly. How can I hunt it? At this time, Qianyu smiled. Then, a pair of beautiful wings suddenly appeared behind Qianyu. This is Qianyu's martial spirit, wings of the void. The wings of the void can allow people to escape into the void, and they can also be used as wings to fly. 3 black soul rings on his body lit up. Qianyu was also very surprised when he saw Qianyu's 3 black soul rings. After all, the soul ring ratio of ancestor Qianyu is really good. At this time, Qianyu's 3rd soul ring lit up. The 3rd soul skill of the wings of void martial spirit is shared flying. After using this soul skill, not only can you fly, but you can also let others share the power of flying with you. In an instant, a pair of wings appeared on Qianyu's body. This moment, Qianyu was shocked. On. Qianyu gave an order. Suddenly, Qian Yu was seen flying into the sky in an instant. Qian Yu's martial spirit was released instantly. Qian Yu was called Ba Sword Douluo, and his martial spirit was Qian Ba Sword. In an instant, a big knife appeared in Qian Yu's hand. At this moment, endless soul power fell from the sky. Qian Yu slashed at Huan Yufeiying with his sword, hitting Huan Yufeiying's back hard. He wanted to kill Huan Yufeiying directly. Endless soul power fell on the eagle, and immediately, the billowing force directly pushed the eagle to the ground. But the phantom feather eagle is indeed a soul beast with astonishing defensive power. It took a blow from tyrannical sword Douluo and was still alive. Suddenly, the huge flying eagle fell down. At this time, Qianyu flew out instantly. Facing such a soul beast, Qianyu must go all out. He flew up and condensed a long sword in his hand, the Wuhuan divine sword. He flew in the sky. I saw wind blades continuously slashing towards Huan Yufeiying. Chirp chirp dash. However, the defense of the phantom feather eagle was very strong, so all Qianyu's attacks were blocked. However, Qianyu is not just a trump card. Wave again. The huge ice instantly condensed the flying eagle. The rare earth martial spirit was used, and huge boulders continued to condense in the sky, and continued to hit the phantom feathered eagle. The fierce fire martial spirit was also cast instantly. The huge fireball hit the flying eagle fiercely. Boom, that a loud bang. I saw fireballs exploding in the sky and in the air. Ancestor, let me come. That at this time, tyrant sword Douluo was seen condensing powerful sword intent in the sky. Another slash. Woohoo dash. Suddenly, the phantom feathered eagle let out a cry. Qianyu knew that it was about to die. Then try this blow. At this time, a black soul ring on Qianyu's body suddenly lit up. Endless soul power was concentrated on his god-killing sword. Soul skills, one sword from heaven and earth. That the billowing soul power continued to emerge on the long sword. Qianyu held the long sword and flew to the neck of Huan Yufeiying. At this moment, Qianyu's sword had already condensed extremely powerful power, and he slashed off Huan Yufeiying's head with one sword. End of this chapter. Chapter 53. The fourth soul skill, Phantom Feather Attack. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boom, Qianyu slashed it down with one sword. A huge explosion sounded immediately. Woohoo dash. Suddenly, the phantom feather eagle let out an extremely loud cry. The huge body of the soul beast suddenly fell towards the ground. Bang. A loud bang. The giant beast fell hard to the ground. Qianyu also landed on the ground, looking at the soul beast calmly. Then he walked over step by step and was about to give him the final blow. At this moment, Huan Yufeiying suddenly opened his eyes. It flew directly towards the sky. Oh, do you still want to fight to the death? Qianyu looked at the flying eagle, spread its wings, and flew towards the eagle again. Qianyu knew that although this soul beast was seriously injured, its defense was amazing and these injuries could not kill him. However, at this time, he pretended that he was about to die and made Qianyu relax his vigilance. When Qianyu was about to land the final blow, he tried his best to break free and fly into the sky. However, Qianyu also knew that it was at the end of its strength. Qianyu was very fast and instantly caught up with the spirit beast and rode on its neck. Qianyu soared in the sky riding this phantom feather eagle. The phantom feather eagle struggled wildly. He wanted to throw Qianyu down to death, but how could Qianyu give him such a chance? Qianyu was riding on the neck of the phantom feather eagle, holding the phantom feather eagle with one hand, while using the long sword on the other hand to attack the phantom feather eagle crazily. The phantom feathered eagle let out a mournful cry in the sky. He was already seriously injured, and the injuries added to his injuries, so he is now at the end of his strength. As long as Qianyu can hold on, this phantom feathered eagle will die in Qianyu's hands sooner or later. The phantom feather eagle was struggling crazily, but Qianyu held on to the phantom feather eagle tightly, making it unable to break free. He kept using his soul power to attack it with his right hand. At this moment, phantom feather eagle finally couldn't bear it any longer. The phantom feathered eagle suddenly flew up to a height of thousands of feet, and then dived towards the ground. It's over, he wants to kill everything. Qian Yu also said in surprise. He saw Huan Yufeiying's intention. He wanted to die together with Qianyu, falling to death together, but Qianyu still didn't leave Huan Yufeiying, because if the soul beast fell to death, then he would not get the soul beast. I saw the phantom feathered flying eagle carrying thousands of feathers, swooping down towards the bottom of the cliff. Want to die with me? Qianyu sneered. But, I'm afraid I won't be able to do what you want. Because the earth is under my control, Qianyu said, and the rare earth martial spirit was activated instantly. I saw that the soil on the ground softened instantly and turned into windy sand. The endless wind and sand instantly enveloped the huge flying eagle. Qianyu opened the wings on his back and left the flying eagle. The long sword in his hand once again condensed his sword intent, cut off with a sword, boom. A loud bang, Qian Yu's sword was seen piercing Fei Ying's head. The flying eagle screamed, fell to the ground, and died. Looking at the corpse of a huge soul beast lying there, a black and red soul ring was suspended above the corpse of the phantom feather eagle. He came to the phantom feather eagle and looked at the black-red soul ring. He knew that the phantom feather eagle was not just a 6-year-old soul beast. You must know that the 10-year-old soul beast's soul ring was black. It's red, and this soul ring is between black and red, which means that this soul beast is more than 8 years old. He looked at the surrounding environment, and it was gloomy everywhere. He walked forward to an extremely dark forest, and he knew that this place was under a cliff. Not only that, Qianyu felt countless powerful auras here, and there might be several 10-year-old soul beasts at the bottom of the abyss. At this time, Qianyu also flew down and came to Qianyu. He immediately knelt down and said, "Ancestor, my subordinates did not protect me well, which frightened my ancestor." Qianyu looked at Qianyu calmly and said, "No need to be polite, you have done a good job. I will not die at the hands of a soul beast. Okay, you protect me, I'm going to absorb the soul ring." Yes. Qianyu left immediately and warned the surroundings. Qianyu found a safe place and sprinkled loose animal powder around it. Then he sat down cross-legged and began to slowly absorb the soul ring of the phantom-feathered flying eagle. Qianyu sat down cross-legged and began to absorb Huanyu Feiying's soul ring. This was a soul ring that was about 8 years old. Although he was extremely talented and had an extraordinary physique, it was still very difficult to forcibly absorb it. He began to close his eyes, and then the soul force pulled the soul ring into his body. Since this soul beast is not a sacrifice, it is very resistant to Qianyu's absorption. A huge force blocked the spirit ring from the outside. Qianyu bit the bullet and absorbed the soul ring into his body. At this time, waves of powerful soul power began to impact his body. Qianyu used his soul power to suppress it, but how could his soul power compare to the soul power of a soul beast that was more than 8 years old? He could hardly suppress it. Suddenly, his body seemed to be exploded. "I'm going to burst." Qianyu roared. I saw that his body began to crack, and the cracks were not full of his body. He quickly activated Netherworld Begonia's treatment. At this time, the cells grew crazily to repair his body. Tear, mend, tear, mend. Qianyu didn't know how many times she was torn apart, but the new life chapter Kung Fu forcibly dragged her back from the gate of hell. Finally, under his constant suppression with soul power, the aura of the phantom feather eagle was completely wiped away. At this time, the soul ring stopped the riot. He finally relaxed and let out a long breath. Immediately, the black-red soul ring slowly appeared on his body. At this time, Qianyu's soul rings were released: red, black, black, red and black. The 4 soul rings showed this huge light. The disc of reincarnation was held in his right hand, and his soul power was constantly rising, so he forcibly suppressed his realm, continuously compressed his soul power, and finally stayed at around level 41. So, what is the 4th soul skill? Qianyu thought. I saw the 4th soul skill being used instantly. I saw a huge yin and yang field unfolding, and the surrounding area was covered with feathers, and the feathers were filled with powerful soul power. Following Qianyu's thoughts, countless feathers stabbed toward a point in an instant. This is the 4th soul skill of Thousand Feathers Pan of Samsara, Phantom Feather Attack. In Qianyu's domain, feathers condensed instantly, and then thousands of feathers assassinated together. This soul skill can absorb huge soul power instantly and spread the soul power into the wings. The wings can be turned into countless sharp weapons and spread out instantly. To put it simply, this soul skill is to inject soul power into his wings. At this time, the iron feathers will spread out and kill the opponent. Moreover, even a strong soul saint would not be able to withstand the attacks of these feathers. End of this chapter. Chapter 54 Go to Soto City. You are listening at NaVoFull.audio. Chapter 54 Heading to Soto City. After returning to NaN College, Qianyu returned to his normal cultivation life. However, in addition to cultivating his soul power, Qianyu also exercises his body every day. Qianyu's physical fitness was already good, and coupled with his training, his body is now even more abnormal. Qianyu is now a level 41 soul sect, but his physical strength is extremely abnormal. Even without using soul power, he can lift tens of thousands of kilograms with one hand and can kill a soul sect with one punch. If he matched his soul power, Qianyu could say that he would be invincible under Contra. The level gap in Douluo Continent is not big to begin with. In the original work, Qianyu is able to deal with Soul Saint Zhao Wuji using hidden weapons, and now Qianyu's strength is several times that of Qianyu. Even if Qianyu uses hidden weapons, he cannot be Qianyu's opponent. Therefore, Qianyu now should be invincible under Contra. Coupled with Qian Yu beside him, he was fearless even if he encountered Contra. In the following time, Qianyu continued to practice in NaN City. As Qianyu's influence in NaN City grew, he almost became the core figure in NaN City. Whether it's the Wuhuan Palace in NaN City or the City Lord's Mansion, when you see Qianyu, you must be polite. Although, on the surface, the biggest forces in NaN City are the people from Wuhuan Palace and the City Lord's Mansion, but in fact, the person in power in NaN City is Qianyu. Qianyu has also become a legendary figure in NaN City. In NaN City, when Qianyu's name is mentioned, no one knows it, and just like that, another 3 years have passed. Qianyu also successfully reached the age of 12. The age of 12 marked the end of his journey. Qianyu's next journey is to Soto City. Soto City is the closest city to NaN City. Qianyu went to Soto City because, firstly, because of his current strength, the small city of NaN City could no longer accommodate him. Second, he is not yet strong enough to challenge Pope Bibi Dong of Wuhuan Palace. Although he is not prepared to seize Bibi Dong's power of life and death in charge of Wuhuan Palace, if he exposes himself now, Bibi Dong's character should be able to eradicate him. Everything that goes against her. Qianyu wasn't afraid of Bibi Dong, he just didn't want to be in trouble. Anyway, practice is practice wherever you go, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to do it in Soto City. Soto City is a big city, which can be seen from the configuration of its Spirit Hall, which is the third-level Spirit Hall. Just after noon, the sun was scorching hot, and two young men walked in from the west gate of Soto City. It looked like they were all in their teens, and they didn't carry any luggage. A man and a woman. The boy was dressed plainly, looked about 12 or 13 years old, and was about 1.7 meters tall. Although he is only 12 years old, he already looks like a young man. He was wearing white clothes, with long black hair scattered on his shoulders, and a pair of eyes like stars, just like a handsome young man walking out of a painting. The silky and smooth long black hair was combed into a neat scorpion braid. Even if it was a braid, it still hangs over the calf position. She is half a point taller than the boy. She wore a pink dress on her upper body, which tightly covered her already growing figure. If her breasts were not plump enough, her waist was so slender that it would be the envy of countless women. The slender and tight thighs are wrapped in white stockings, which are slightly transparent and have the perfect golden ratio. Although she looks young and has a childish look on her face, her round little buttocks are already very attractive. Some flavor. Curved eyebrows are formed naturally, a pair of big watery eyes and a slightly round pink face, not only beautiful, but also gives people a somewhat delicate feeling. The word cute seems to be tailor-made for her generally. These two people are Qianyu and Zhao Wu, who came from NaN City. They were walking on the street. Qianyu was half a head taller than Zhao Wu, and they looked very well matched. Such boys and girls are naturally very eye-catching. It attracted the envy of passers-by. Wow, look at that little brother in white, he's so handsome. So handsome. Does such a person really exist in the world? Is he a banished immortal from heaven? You girls, you only look at the little brother, don't you see the girl next to them? Such a cute girl, I really want to fall in love with her. If you don't pee and show yourself, are you worthy of others? Oh, they are such a perfect match. Along the way, many people looked at them with envy. Such a young girl would definitely attract many people to watch. Qianyu didn't pay attention to other people's eyes and took Xiaowu to eat something. The two of them ate something briefly first, and then looked for a place to live. After a short time, Zhao Wu found a very unique hotel. The hotel is 3 stories high. Although it doesn't look too big, the exterior decoration is completely rose red. The architectural style of the whole hotel is also like a huge rose, which can easily give people a glimpse. Bright feeling. Rose Hotel. Brother Qianyu, let's stay here. Zhao Wu pointed. Qianyu looked at the Rose Hotel and smiled lightly. Do you know where this place is? Zhao Wu shook her head and said, isn't this just a hotel? Qianyu smiled and said, silly girl, this is where lovers live. As soon as these words came out, Zhao Wu's pretty face turned red instantly. She grabbed the corners of her clothes with both hands and whispered, no. Can't you? Of course. Qianyu smiled lightly, took Zhao Wu's hand, and walked towards the hotel. When you walk into the Rose Hotel, the first thing you will feel is the tangy rose fragrance. The refreshing fragrance has a somewhat ambiguous feeling, which makes you feel comfortable physically and mentally. The interior decoration of the hotel has only 3 colors, white, silver and rose red, warm and unique, and the elegant environment is easy to give people a good impression. Is there any room left? Qianyu stepped forward and said. The front desk person looked at Qianyu and Zhao Wu with ambiguous eyes and said, Sir, you are here at the right time. There is only the last VIP room left here. Qianyu nodded and said, okay, open this room for us. Sorry, we want this room. A voice sounded behind Qianyu and the others. Qianyu looked back and saw 3 people walking towards them. There are 3 people, 1 male and 2 females. The 2 girls are gorgeous, and they all look about 17 or 18 years old. They are taller than Zhao Wu. The most surprising thing is that their appearance is exactly the same. It's actually a pair of twins. The man is about 1.8 meters tall, half a head taller than him, and looks young, even younger than the 2 girls behind him, with broad shoulders, a handsome appearance with a bit of resoluteness, long golden hair hanging down the back, hanging down to the waist. His hair is not curly, but hanging there straight. The most eye-catching thing is his pair of evil eyes, which have dark blue pupils. After seeing him, a name appeared in Qianyu's mind, the evil-eyed white tiger Dai Mubai. End of this chapter. Chapter 55 Evil-Eyed White Tiger Dai Mubai. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 55 Dai Mubai, the Evil-Eyed White Tiger. The twin girls each held one of the arms of the man with the pupil, and he ignored Qianyu. When his eyes passed over Zhao Wu, a strange light flashed, but it was only fleeting. Dai Mubai's eyes suddenly lit up when he saw Zhao Wu. It must be said that Zhao Wu's beauty attracted him. Walking to the counter, looking at the waiter, Dai Mubai said, "You are new here, don't you know there is always a room for me here?" The waiter was stunned for a moment, and tentatively asked, "Who are you?" The man with double pupils said impatiently, "Tell your manager to come out." The waiter looked into the eyes of the man with double pupils, his heart felt cold, and he hurried to the back to call his boss. Zhao Wu immediately looked at Dai Mubai and said, "We were here first, why should we give it to you?" The double-eyed man didn't even turn his head, but said coldly, "So what?" Zhao Wu immediately said angrily, "It's not good, I tell you to get lost." The double-eyed man finally turned around, his cold and evil gaze fell on Zhao Wu, and nodded, "Very good, no one has dared to talk to me like this for a long time. Girl, you successfully caught my attention." Dai Mubai looked at Zhao Wu with a sneer on his lips, looking like a domineering president. At this moment, the previous waiter had already come out from behind with a middle-aged man. He had obviously heard the conversation between the double-eyed man and Qian Yu and Zhao Wu. He had an anxious look on his face and said, "I have something to say." "If you have something to say, don't do anything." The man with double pupils gave him a sideways glance. "Manager Wang, are you getting better at doing business now?" Manager Wang wiped the sweat off his head, and said with a smile, "Young Master Dai, please don't say that. It's all because of your subordinates. This kid just came here yesterday. He doesn't know the rules." I'm sorry. I'll arrange it for you right away. Room." With that said, he turned to Qian Yu and Zhao Wu, and said apologetically, "I'm sorry, 2 guests. That room was reserved by Mr. Dai. Please choose another room. How about we refuse to give in?" Dogs look down upon others. Don't think that we are easy to bully because we are young. Zhao Wu said immediately. Mr. Dai snorted coldly, it's okay if you don't let me, but you can stay, but he must go. Although Zhao Wu was only 12 years old, she was already well developed. Dai Mubai looked at Zhao Wu up and down with a lewd smile on his lips. Seeing Dai Mubai's dirty look, Zhao Wu immediately became furious. In that case, I will let you sharpen your memory. Zhao Wu said, about to take action. At this time, Qianyu reached out to stop Zhao Wu. Dai Mubai is one of the top 10 scumbags in Douluo. He is also one of the most annoying characters outside of Douluo Continent. Besides the master, the person Qianyu hated the most was Dai Mubai, did not expect to meet here today. Not only that, but he also spoke provocatively, so Qianyu had to teach him a lesson. Qianyu slowly walked forward, looked at Dai Mubai and said, there are two types of people I hate the most in my life. One is the arrogant and self-righteous people, the other type is those who threaten me and my family. Unfortunately, you have accounted for both situations. As soon as she said this, both Dai Mubai and the two beautiful twins next to her looked at Qianyu infatuatedly. They were stunned. Dai Mubai is not someone to be trifled with. He is a level 37 battle soul master and extremely powerful, known as Dai Xiao in Soto city. And if Qianyu dares to say this, isn't he looking for death? Dai Mubai looked at Qianyu and sneered, oh, so what? Qianyu was not annoyed, and said with a smile on his lips, no, it's just an ant on the roadside. Do I still want to tell you how I'm going to trample you to death? Hearing Qianyu's taunt, Dai Mubai was immediately furious. Boy, you are crazy, I want to see if you have the capital to be crazy. Dai Mubai said coldly. Just when Qianyu and Dai Mubai were about to fight, everyone around them came to watch, because Dai Mubai is a well-known young master in Soto city. No one knows his reputation as young master Dai, and everyone knows that Dai Mubai is a monster that looks like a monster. He can become a level 37 soul master at a young age. With such strength, his future cannot be underestimated. Coupled with Dai Mubai's family background, no one in Soto city would dare to offend young Master Dai. Look, Master Dai is fighting with someone. Who the hell is so blind? Rushed to provoke Dai Xiao. It seems that the kid is miserable, he will definitely be beaten to death by Dai Xiao. Everyone was talking about it. At this time, the corners of Dai Mubai's mouth curved, he clenched his hands tightly, grinning his teeth and said, boy, do you want to die? At this time, Dai Mubai waved his hand lightly and asked the two girls to step back. He looked at Qianyu with a slightly angry look on his face. His soul power was released, because he lost to Qianyu in the conversation just now, and now he must regain his momentum in terms of momentum. He did not release the pressure of his 37th level soul master, he only released the pressure of his th level soul power, because he saw that Qianyu was only 10 years old, at most a great soul master, so he was th level. The pressure must have made him breathless, but he didn't know that. Qianyu didn't feel it at all. He saw that Qianyu was not under any pressure. At first he thought Qianyu was holding on, but later he discovered that Qianyu couldn't feel it at all. He immediately increased his pressure, level 28, level 35, level 37. He directly released his strongest pressure, but Qianyu didn't feel it at all. He just stood there extremely calmly, with a very peaceful face. At this time, Dai Mubai was shocked, his face was a bit distraught. He was a dignified level 37 fighting soul master who couldn't suppress a kid. This was so embarrassing for him. He must find his place again. White Tiger, Possession. A layer of intense pale light suddenly burst out from his body. Dai Xiao stretched his arms to both sides at the same time, his chest puffed up, his bones cracked, and his muscles swelled suddenly, propping up the clothes on his body. Every muscle became extremely obvious under the clothes, and even the air around him seemed to have become manic. The full head of blonde hair instantly turned into black and white, with white accounting for most of it, but a few strands of black hair were particularly obvious. 4 faint lines appeared on the forehead, 3 horizontal and 1 vertical, forming a king character. His hands had the biggest change, becoming twice as big as before. Each claw was like a blade, with a length of 8 inches, flashing with a dark and cold light. Boy, you will pay for your arrogance. White tiger line of light waves. Dai Mubai shouted loudly, and then rushed towards Qianyu. His movements are very simple, without any fancy. The momentum of this punch has reached its peak in an instant under the effect of strength and speed, but Qianyu didn't move at all when Dai Mubai punched him, and just stood there quietly. End of this chapter. Chapter 56 Dai Mubai, the Sick Cat. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. At this time, Dai Mubai was seen charging towards Qianyu. Under his feet, 3 shining halos rose one after another, rising quietly, 2 yellow and 1 purple. As the soul ring circulated, surging soul power formed waves of pressure rushing toward his face. Young Master Dai is so strong, he is actually a 3-ring soul master. Not only that, he also has a 1000-year soul ring. This is not a shame for that kid. That boy is fair and tender. He looks like a pretty boy at first glance. How can he be compared with our Xiao Dai? Looking at Dai Mubai who was coming to kill him, Qianyu smiled, and then his aura suddenly burst out. Suddenly, a powerful momentum was released instantly. Everyone was shocked when they saw the momentum released by Qianyu, and couldn't believe their eyes. How is this possible? Who is this kid? How could he unleash such powerful pressure? That everyone was shocked, because they felt this pressure. Everyone felt like they wanted to kneel down. Dai Mubai also felt Qianyu's powerful pressure, and was immediately shocked. However, he has already taken action and cannot stop now. The next moment, a scene that shocked everyone even more emerged. I saw 4 soul rings on Qianyu's body lighting up instantly. At this moment, everyone looked at Qianyu's soul ring in shock and couldn't believe their eyes. How is this possible? God, what did I see? How could this happen? How could someone have such a soul ring? In their eyes, they saw 4 soul rings appearing on Qianyu's body, black. For black soul rings, the last one, black with a hint of red. In other words, it is a soul ring that is more than 7 years old. Everyone was shocked. Everyone looked at this in surprise. For 10,000-year spirit rings. Who is this kid? Dai Mubai also looked at Qianyu in front of him in shock, feeling extremely shocked in his heart. How could he have such a terrifying soul ring ratio? He is obviously younger than me. How could it be possible? But now, Dai Mubai's body has arrived in front of Qianyu. Qianyu smiled softly, and suddenly, a wave of wind appeared on Qianyu's hand. Qianyu punched out, boom, a loud bang. Qianyu punched Dai Mubai in the stomach. Dai Mubai's body flew out instantly and hit the wall hard. Puff, suddenly, a mouthful of blood spat out from Dai Mubai's mouth. He fell to the ground, clutching his stomach in pain. At this moment, the whole place was shocked, and everyone fell silent. The pedestrians around couldn't believe it either. How can it be? How could Dai Xiao lose? Who the hell is he who can beat young Master Dai? Everyone looked at Qianyu with great horror. When the 2 little girls brought by Dai Mubai saw Qianyu winning, they immediately ran away like they were seeing ghosts. How is this possible? No, you are a devil. Both twin girls escaped. At this time, Qianyu came to Dai Mubai, looked at Dai Mubai and said, Master Dai, how are you? Who are you? Dai Mubai knelt on the ground and looked at Qianyu in shock and asked. Qianyu looked at Dai Mubai calmly and said, you don't need to care who I am. Since you like to book a room so much and compete with me for a room, then I will destroy you and see how you book a room in the future. Qianyu said, and suddenly, he saw a wind blade slashing towards Dai Mubai's lower body. Qi dashed at a loud bang. What? Suddenly, blood splattered everywhere across Dai Mubai's legs. What? Dai Mubai broke out in a cold sweat. A look of horror appeared in his eyes. Big beads of sweat fell down. He screamed in pain on the ground. What? Damn it! Hateful! Dai Mubai roared in pain. Qianyu glanced at Dai Mubai calmly. Don't call me the evil-eyed white tiger from now on, call me the birdless sick cat. After saying that, he turned around and looked at Zhao Wu behind him, and said calmly, Zhao Wu, let's go. Zhao Wu nodded, and the 2 of them walked into the hotel. Dai Mubai also fainted in endless pain. At this moment, the passers-by who were watching were extremely shocked. Although they don't know Dai Mubai's true identity, they all know that Dai Mubai is called Mr. Dai. he is usually arrogant and domineering in Soto City, rich and powerful. However, this kind of young Master Dai was actually castrated directly. That's right, castrated. Young Master Dai can be regarded as a romantic and beautiful young man, but now he has become like this. How can he molest young girls from good families in the future? Although it's a bit tragic to say that Mr. Dai is a bit miserable, I still want to say that you did a great job. I didn't expect that someone like Mr. Dai would fall into trouble. It seems that I have to keep a low profile in the future. One person was talking about it. The decoration of the Rose Hotel makes people feel good. The simple and comfortable color matching and the faint rose fragrance in the hotel make people feel comfortable physically and mentally. On the innermost side of the top floor, Qianyu found the door number of Red Ocean. There are only a few rooms on the top floor. The door numbers in front are blue enchantress, pink tenderness, yellow sincerity, white innocence, green separation, and so on. The innermost part is the Red Ocean. Only later did he know that the name on the house number also represented several colors of roses. The color of the door is the same as the name on the door plate. On the big red door, there is a beautiful dark red crystal rose decoration, and there is a line of small vertical characters beside the red crystal rose. Red Ocean, Ocean of Love. Qian Yu followed Zhao Wu into the room, but who knew that Zhao Wu in front of him suddenly stopped. His body suddenly touched Zhao Wu's back, and was blocked by the soft elasticity. Why don't you leave? Qian Yu quickly took half a step back to open the distance between himself and Zhao Wu. When he finished asking this question, he actually found the answer to the question. Despite some psychological preparations, when she saw everything in the room for the first time, Qian Yu was still full of shock. The room is very large. The living room in front of it alone covers an area of more than 50 square meters. All the furniture in the hall is silver and carved with exquisite patterns. The bright red carpet was covered with embossed red rose patterns. What surprised them most was a huge red peach heart made of large roses in the center of the hall. The entire peach heart has an area of nearly 2 square meters, and at least 1,000 roses are needed to complete it. There is a slender ribbon hanging on it, with a line of words written on it. 1001, you are my only one. What a beautiful hotel. Zhao Wu looked at everything in front of her and murmured, end of this chapter.